Hello, people. This is my motorized bicycle project. This is several months in the making. So it started out with this Harbor Freight engine that I bought back in probably 2016. Um, it's a 3 horsepower, 4-stroke engine. Um, Bought for like $100, $99, something like that, 3 years ago. So, um, yeah. So there's nothing. It's not complete yet because certain reasons, like things that hold you back with these bikes. So the front suspension that's on it right now is not secured to anything. It's just standing on that fork. So that fork I just got today. It's a Suntour. I think it's a 1 inch suspension, and it does fit in the steering uh, where those races are. It fits in there, but it's not a tight fit. I'm not sure if it's the exact right size, which is pretty annoying. You know, like 90% or 99% of this bike is probably Chinese made, so parts aren't going to be top notch. Although those wheels are pretty nice. They're nice mag wheels, kind of like old 80s moped wheels. And they're probably stronger than the spoked wheels, definitely stronger. And I got those wheels and tires recently too, put those on there by myself. Got a 3 liter gas tank there. It has, I made one strap, put it on there, cause the ones that come with it will not, as you can see, the studs do not go below the frame, especially on the front one. I had to make that custom bracket out of some flat stock I had, and I also made this little hanger for the engine out of a piece of steel, bent it around a socket actually, and put a little piece of rubber under it, and that's not moving anywhere. It's bolted to the engine. It's bolted. Even the bracket for the throttle cable is bolted onto that same bolt. So, so some problems with this are this rear wheel did not come with a pedal sprocket. It came with the motor sprocket, which is right there, but it did not come with a pedal sprocket, which is bogus, in my opinion. You should include both sprockets. Um, I already spent like 400, $500 on this thing. The bike itself was like $217 from like Bikeberry. Um, got it a few months ago, and I've been working on it ever since. Scratched up the bars, scratched up the paint on here. It's cheap paint. It's not. It's only like 1 or 2 coats of paint, and it's like semi-gloss or whatever, and it really, really is easily scratched. But I don't really care since this is just a fun project. It's I want to say it's fun. Half the time it's fun, half the time it's trying to find the right parts and buying the wrong ones in the process. So most of the time I know what I'm getting, and I know what I need, but some of the times I don't. So this front suspension, I can't use those Chinese disc brakes that I bought for that because it's a different mounting orientation. So these are the other suspension forks I have that I bought for this thing, and as you can see, it's on the back. The mounting points are on the back, but they're not. You know what I mean? They're not. The holes aren't on top. They're on the side of that bracket. So I can't use these disc brakes on this front suspension. So I have to go to a bike shop. I have to look up Suntour disc brakes and get a front disc brake. And I really only want one disc brake on this thing because I don't think I'm going to be able to put one on the rear. I'm going to put a caliper brake or a whatever drum brake, whatever you call it, caliper, I guess, back here because there's a mounting hole for a caliper brake. I'm going to go on the other side of the bike. Nothing special over here. This is pretty much the ugly side of the engine. Um, so, yeah, there's a CNC manifold. There's the pretty crappy pipe. It's pretty quiet. This pipe is pretty quiet. But one thing I noticed is the gasket is leaking some oil. So this gasket, when I took it off the engine, had like stuck to the engine, and it was really hard to get off, and I didn't get the whole thing off, but I put it on there anyways. So at one point, I'm probably going to have to get a different gasket and put it on there. So I also need to get a spacer. I need to put on that 1-inch headset that's over there right there on here. And I need to put on spacer and the neck, I guess you could call it, for the front. So